My name is Emily, and I'm 30 years old. I work in an office. Recently, my boyfriend, Jake, proposed to me and we got married. When we were dating, Jake was kind and helped around the house. His job doesn't pay much, but he's doing well at work and trying his best. I hoped he would get a raise in the future. Right now, we live in a small rental apartment. I want to buy a bigger place, so I'm saving little by little. But Jake doesn't seem to save much. I understand his salary isn't high, but he also spends a lot of money on things he doesn't really need. For example, he buys video games without thinking twice, goes out drinking, and even pays for his friends' drinks. I brought this up once, but he got defensive and said, "It's my money. I can spend it however I want." It's true that we keep our finances separate, and I also spend money on things like cosmetics. So I don't mind him spending on himself. But I at least try to save first before buying extra things. Unlike Jake, I don't run out of money before payday. Before we got married, he wasn't like this. He didn't buy so many things, and he used to take me to nice restaurants and give me gifts. I even felt bad, thinking maybe that's why he was short on money. Things also changed when it came to housework. Before marriage, we both worked and shared chores. If I had to work late, Jake would even cook for me. But after we got married, he left everything to me. He stopped helping. No cooking, no cleaning, nothing. If I don't do the cleaning, the place becomes a mess. So I have no choice but to do it, even when I'm exhausted. It's the same with cooking. No matter how late I get home, he never prepares anything. Instead, I find him playing video games saying, "I'm hungry. Make me something to eat." Many times I wanted to say, if you have time to play games, you have time to cook. But even with all my frustrations, I still loved Jake. He wasn't all bad. There was something about him that made me want to stay with him. He still surprised me with gifts for my birthday or our anniversary, even after we got married. So I thought we were doing okay. We've been married for 3 years now. We argue sometimes, but overall, I thought our marriage was fine. But after Jake's father, Robert, passed away, things started to change. His mother, Linda, began visiting us all the time. I understood that she was lonely, and I didn't mind her coming over. But she started coming every weekend, and I had no time to relax. Jake, on the other hand, would go out and leave me to entertain his mom. I wanted to spend time with my friends too, and I started feeling frustrated. Then one day, Jake suddenly said, "Let's buy a condo." I was surprised. Where did this come from? Well, since Mom visits so often, I thought it would be better if we had more space. Plus, didn't you want to buy a bigger place too? I do, but how are we going to afford it? If we both contribute, we can manage. I was actually impressed that Jake was thinking about me. He had always been a bit selfish, but this time, he seemed to care about our future. So I agreed. We started looking for a condo within our budget and found a beautiful, spacious one. It was a little expensive, but it was in a great location and had lots of natural light. "I don't know much about this kind of thing, so you can handle the paperwork and sign everything," Jake said. You always leave this stuff to me," I sighed. At that time, I didn't think much about it. I was just excited that we were finally getting a new home. So we bought the condo and moved in. It was really nice, and just being there made me happy. But about a week after we moved in, Jake suddenly said something shocking. "Mom's coming over today." "Oh, she wants to see our new place?" I asked, assuming that was the reason. I wasn't exactly excited about it, but since we hadn't invited Linda over yet, I suggested we get her some snacks for tea. Then Jake said, "Don't be too formal at first, or it'll be hard later on." "Huh? What do you mean?" "I mean she's coming to live with us." "What? This is the first time I'm hearing about this." "Oh yeah, I just told you now. Why didn't you even ask me first?" "But we have enough space, so it's fine. Plus, she can help you with housework." "That's not the point. She's lonely, and I felt bad for her." "Wait a second. You can't just decide this on your own." As I was getting angry with Jake, the doorbell rang. "Oh, Mom's here." Jake completely ignored me and went to the door, letting Linda in. "Welcome home, Mom." "Jake, it's so good to see you." "Oh my, what a lovely home. It's so new, clean, and comfortable." She walked in, carrying her big suitcase. In the end, I had no choice. Jake forced me into living with Linda. After that, living in our new home became unbearable. Linda didn't care about my decorations or the way I had set things up. She started putting random ornaments everywhere. and I hated how cluttered it made the place look. Then came an even bigger problem. Jake refused to pay the mortgage. Before we bought the condo, he said we would both pay for it. But when the time came to make the payments, he suddenly said, "I can't afford the mortgage with my salary, so Emily, you pay." "That's not what you told me," I snapped. Jake just shrugged and said, "Well, I thought I could pay before we bought it, but it can't be helped." I was left to take care of everything, the lawn, the house, and even Linda. What was I even working so hard for? This wasn't how things were supposed to be, I thought. But then something happened that made everything even worse. One day, Jake called me into the living room. "What is it?" I asked. He held up a piece of paper. "These are divorce papers." "What? What do you mean?" "I'm cheating on you. I want to be with someone else." It felt like the ground had disappeared beneath me. "This is too sudden. I don't understand." "I've already decided," he said firmly. I couldn't think straight. So much had happened all at once. I wanted to be angry, but I didn't even know what to say. "Just sign it," Jake said. "You probably don't want to stay with a guy like me anyway." He was right. I could never stay with a man who cheated on me. In a way, maybe this was actually for the best. So I signed the papers. "Thanks, Emily. I'll never forget you. I'll turn these in after work tomorrow. It'll take me a few days to pack and leave." Would we really become strangers just like that? It felt surreal. How had I let myself get caught up in this mess, both with him and this house? Would I be living alone in this big place now? Could I handle that? The next day, when I got home from work, all of Jake's things were gone. But Linda was still there. Linda, where's Jake? And what happened to his stuff?" "Oh, Jake left earlier," she said. "As for his manga and video games, I think someone came to buy them." "What? What do you mean?" "Before he left, he said, 'I'm going to ruin everything once and for all.'" That's when I realized I had been completely tricked. Jake had sold all his things and disappeared, leaving Linda behind. I tried calling him, but my number was blocked. I even contacted his workplace, but they told me he had already quit and left no contact information. He had planned all of this. Then in my room, I found a note. "Take care of my mom. If you kick her out and she dies, I'll sue you." I was in complete shock. Linda read the note too, and her face crumpled. What should I do now?" she whispered. Even though we weren't related, I couldn't just leave her. But I also didn't want to keep living with her in this house. I was furious. How could Jake abandon his own mother and dump all his problems on me while he ran off to be happy? I needed to find him, so I hired a private investigator to track him down, no matter the cost. 2 months later, I got a call. They had found him. He was living in an apartment, so I took Linda with me and went straight there. When I rang the doorbell, a woman answered. "Who are you?" she asked. "I'm Jake's ex-wife," I said. She looked shocked. "What?" "But Jake told me he was never married." "And this," I said, pointing to Linda, "is his real mother, the one he left behind at my house." The woman, whose name was Sarah, looked completely confused. "You had no idea, did you?" I asked. "Not at all," she admitted. She let us inside, and we sat down in the living room. I told her everything. By the time I finished, she was horrified. Jake had told her he was single, that he had never been married. But the truth was he had been with me the whole time they were dating. He had been lying to her from the start. But then what about Linda? Jake had told Sarah that his mother was dead. "Oh my God, I'll never forgive him," Sarah shouted. She looked heartbroken. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea about any of this. I don't even know what to say." I nodded. "I know you didn't. Jake lied to you, but both of us can make him pay alimony." "And about Linda," I continued, "Jake is legally responsible for taking care of his own mother." "My dad knows a good lawyer," Sarah said. "I'll have him handle this." Just then Jake walked in. His face turned pale when he saw us. How did you find me?" Sarah glared at him. "Jake, you've been lying to me this whole time, haven't you?" "No, that's not true," Jake stammered. "We're done," Sarah said firmly. "I'll be suing you for alimony too. You can't escape this." Linda stared at him coldly. "You are not my son anymore. You're dead to me." Sarah crossed her arms. "This apartment is in my name. Pack your things and get out." Jake looked terrified but said nothing. He just nodded and left. In the end, both Sarah and I sued Jake for alimony. The court also ruled that he had to pay for Linda to live in a nursing home. Because of this, Jake ended up in huge debt. He had to move into a tiny, run-down apartment and work 3 part-time jobs just to survive. It felt good to see him get what he deserved. As for Linda, she said the people at the nursing home were kind, and she had made new friends. She seemed happy. As for me, I didn't want to live alone in the big apartment I had bought, so I rented a room to a close friend. We spent our evenings drinking and chatting, and life felt much better. Well, I'm only 30. When I'm ready, I'll start dating again.